I cannot fault many of your nations today for engaging in war. Some do so in the name of protecting their own citizenry, not unlike the ram protecting his piece of the mountain from other intruders. Sometimes I witness direct attacks, seemingly unprovoked, that demand retaliation. I say seemingly unprovoked because in truth all attacks are justified in the minds of the attackers. It is up to the Society of Nations to determine if attacks have merit or not. Do your stronger nations have the responsibility to police the less developed nations when they see the seeds of genocide planted in foreign nations far removed from its own country and posing no direct threat to them? The seemingly obvious answer is certainly, but this approach is not as benevolent as it would first appear. One country's intrusion will always be seen as unwelcome intervention by large numbers inside the occupied country and by many foreign nations questioning the true motives of the occupation, no matter how altruistic the intention. This is why I praise your founding of the organizations of many nations to oversee the problems of the world. I note that your League of Nations has failed. I see that your current United Nations is troubled by lack of participation, lack of commitment by all its members, lack of resources to do the job, and most importantly, suspicion and disagreement over established objectives. I say do not give up on this ideal, for this is my intended way. One nation will never be powerful enough to dominate all others. One nation will never impose its values and desires on all the rest. It is only through cooperation, the intended reason for this organization, that injustices on your earth will be righted. This right must be a consensus right, for no one country has the mandate to make that decision alone. This will only create friction and alienation among the other members, and especially those non-members and those with no affiliation to any nation. Let me herein explain the nature of man as I have created him. The gift of free will that I have instilled in man sometimes serves to act contrary to what I desire from man. I recognize this and allow it to continue because I know that the future development of mankind will finally result in the world I have envisioned. I have eternity to wait and do not feel the urgency imposed on you because of your short lifespan. The truth exists even today, and even in war itself, that man has no desire to or sees no need to kill fellow human beings. There are certainly men who have been indoctrinated from a very early age that it is manly and valorous to kill an enemy. There are certainly leaders who exhort the troops into battle, decrying the noble cause of right and freedom to justify war and its resultant killing. I watch in wonder and horror how easily and quickly your nations and tribes enter into war, knowing full well the devastating consequences to the families you are charged to protect, knowing the unbearable pain you will inflict on so many of your own citizens. I see an amazing parallel to a mother and father keeping a loaded gun in the house for protection when it is the child being protected who is victimized by the weapon. In war itself, it is common for warriors to experience psychological trauma. This is a sign I have built into your makeup warning that all is not right here. It is no different than the pain you feel when your finger is smashed or your head aches from the pressures of the world in which you live. All pain is to be seen as a sign that something must be changed. A surprisingly small fraction of your soldiers actually shoot other human beings even during war. There is something very unnatural about one man killing another man for reasons other than self-preservation. This self-preservation must therefore be conditioned into the mindset of the warrior before the battle. I see the strategy developed by your officers in fusing this notion of killing has become part of the soldiers' training. In most of your countries, the soldiers are indoctrinated with the need to kill, exhorting them on in the name of patriotism, or in the name of Allah, or through some catchphrase intended to incite hatred, and therefore some unknown enemy. This is not my way. I created life in abundance, so the deaths of a few or even millions will not alter my plan, but the wanton death of so many on earth displeases me, and I find it to be for no worthy cause. This, above all else, is the reason that I have finally decided to address your multitudes.